Yo, welcome everyone to the Rogues Gallery Bow Play series. We're going to be kicking things off here in just a minute. Of course, Rogues Play is just a little initiative by
It's a group of high IQ individuals.
high IQ individuals of, NA-oriented people that just want to make more tournaments for the NA scene. So they're the ones that organize this event, so a big thanks to them. It's going to be a best of 5 between Stryker and BoA, so two very talented players. We're excited to see who's going to be able to win this best of 5. Of course, BoA being a Protoss player and Stryker being the winner of the first of this series against Gypsy. He won 3-1 against Gypsy. That was last week, I believe, casted by Father and my co-caster today, Intrigue.
Yeah, it was very convincing.
Yeah. Of course, Stryker very, very strong these days. He's been practicing insane amounts. So.
And BoA, I hear BoA's beaten Flash before, allegedly.
Has he actually beaten Flash before?
Well, he said this, and I think he said it in his interview. I don't know if he's a big liar, so he's either a Gosu or he's a liar.
Well, that's pretty insane, being able to beat Flash.
Yeah, so we'll have to find out.
And he's playing on his BSL 10 account, maybe showing us what he's going to be repping there if he manages to take these games. So, yeah, excited to see what's going to happen here. All the maps are ASTL maps, so if you guys are familiar with the ASTL maps, they're going to be the same maps there. It's just losers pick. Yeah, and I think we're ready to get started. So whenever the players are ready, we'll be locking in here.
This is pretty hype. Have you seen BoA's games before?
I've actually never seen BoA. I was asking if anyone had replays of his, but I didn't ask BoA directly because, I'm kind of a shy guy, and I didn't want to be so direct. Yeah,
it's hard to approach.
Well, he doesn't even know me, so maybe I'm working for Stryker, and maybe I'm giving Stryker, his games, and then he's gonna lose this show match.
The show match, what's the matcherino at? It was at like almost $100, I think, when I checked.
Yeah, we do have a matcherino page. If our organizers want to drop that in the Twitch chat, we'll be, trying to get that pumped up here throughout the show match. Anyways, spawning in the bottom left as our red Protoss, we have BoA. If you guys are familiar with the ASTL maps. And in our top right as the orange Zerg, we have Stryker. So.
BoA, of course, his name referencing his playstyle, slowly constricting his opponents.
He slowly squeezes the life out of you in the hope of you ever winning a best of 5 against him as he wins every game 1 in a row.
Yeah, and Stryker's name a little ambiguous. I'm not sure what he's going for.
Yeah, I can't really tell either. But we do have a Forge fast expand coming from BoA here. We know because the probe's already going across the map. And this is pretty standard here, so nothing special. Overpool by Stryker. So this is like the quintessential ZVP opener that has been played for years and years and years. Overpool versus Forge fast expansion. So.
Yeah, I guess one-on-one maps people tend to overpool. Though when I see like the Koreans play, I think there's like a weird meta going on. Sometimes they just like 11 hatch even though it's a 2-player map.
A lot of the Korean Protosses currently are going for 12 Nexus regardless, so they can get away with the 11 hatch. The reason why a lot of people go overpool is because on a 2-player map, obviously the probe, if sent after pylon, can always get there in time to block your hatchery.
Yeah.
BoA doing a very good job of denying the hatchery there for a second, but Stryker does get it down. Only got his minerals up to about 100 over there, so not so bad. But, everyone's happy with the opening. Both players are, pretty satisfied with how things have gone so far.
Do you think, do Protosses have a preference for Gate FE or Forge FE on 2-player maps?
I think Protosses do have a preference, but it's more player-based. So I think certain players just prefer going Gate FE, and certain players prefer going Forge FE. It's not really... I feel like, there's 2 types of Protosses, and I mean, if you're good, you can throw in either one, but if you're, you probably have a preference regardless of if it's a 4-player map or a 3-player map, and you'll probably stick to that preference most of the time.
Okay.
So, I mean, as this series develops, we'll have to see if BoA seems more like a Forge player. Generally, though, I feel like most players, always open up with what they're most comfortable with the very first game.
For game one?
Yeah, just because you want to get a feel for your other opponent, you don't want to do anything too fancy. Just to feel where they're at, and see what you can get away with and stuff like that. So I would expect that BoA is probably going to be a Forge Fast Expand player most of the series, but we'll have to wait and see.
Stryker got his gas at 240-ish. That's his usual. I think at that timing, your layer, when it pops, you get an extra drone or extra larva. So
yeah, we'll have to see. The layer is already going down, and I don't see the core. It probably just got put down there at the top left. So you want your core timing to be at the same time of the layer, and that gives you just enough time to get a single Corsair out to kill an Overlord.
Stryker leaving the Overlord. I think we'll see in the next 20 seconds if he runs it.
Yeah, probably just wanting to check, and they're starting to fly away now. But, I mean, BoA's gotten all the information that he needs, obviously, this game. He's been scouting the main the whole time, so knowing exactly what Zerg is doing gives Protoss the confidence to go basically whatever they want.
Yeah.
If you see a layer, you're probably going to want to get a Stargate just because, the threat of Mutalisk and Spire is pretty great then, but
yeah,
some Protosses do opt to skip it.
From the Zerg side, Stryker is probably checking for +1 on the Forge. I think he had a Ling in front. I don't know if it started. Hasn't started yet.
The Zealot managing to slip by, but Stryker is hot on its tail with a couple of Zerglings. Probably not going to get any drones here, but just getting behind the mineral lines is still annoying. It trades pretty efficiently here. You can see only 3 Zerglings can attack it at a time.
Dude, it feels so good to get a Zealot back there. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, it just takes up a lot of APM from your opponent, and you don't even have to look at it ever again. You can just hold position.
So what is this second gas timing for BoA? Is it relatively fast? And maybe it's standard.
It's pretty standard. Typically, you want to get it right when your Stargate is getting placed, and with most builds, so BoA getting a very fast Templar's Archive here, so
yeah, late +1 too.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a DT build here. Going to be getting DTs out early to see if he can find any weaknesses in Stryker's defenses here. But so far we can see that Stryker has Overlords already set up at all his bases, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
BoA getting a free Overlord here, and because he had his scouting probe out so long, he knows there probably isn't any Hydralisk coming, so he feels, safe enough to pick off this Overlord without sending it across the map first.
Yeah. Stryker almost certainly knows it's DT based on this Forge. He sees it again, right? So there's a few things you could do. You can you could drone a little harder. You can make less Hydras. You can get faster Overlord speed. So is that a cannon in the main?
Yeah, it looks like he's probably just getting a cannon for Scourge. I'm actually really surprised with how late the +1 is. You can see BoA actually has 200 gas right now, so he can afford to get, +1 attack or +1 air if he wants. He still hasn't gotten it.
You think he's a little nervous game one?
Well, I don't know if it's nerves, but the build just definitely is not, syncing up like it should be. We're floating minerals here and money, gas and minerals. 2 DTs coming out. He is starting +1 now, but you can see that he still has all this leftover gas, which means that +1 could have been started, a good couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Now, it looks like he does have Storm on the way. Hopefully, this is a build pretty similar to what Best likes to do a lot, where you get 2 fast DTs and it can really catch the opponent off guard. I think Stryker, we're getting a little bit of lag here, but I think Stryker...
is there no Overlord here?
He got the Overlord with his Corsairs, but I think he has speed already. So his Overlord should be getting here pretty quickly. No, he doesn't.
Oh,
wow.
This is
But one does pop just in time. These DTs doing work, though, man. They've already got so many units. And once there's only so few Hydralisks, DTs actually 2-shot them, so they fucking can just sit here and fight,
The damage output is insane. They're actually a little tankier than you expect.
And yeah, they're actually pretty tanky, and you can just see BoA just doing work on this expansion here, man. This is already so much damage. These DTs have more than paid for themselves. But we do have to worry a little bit about our macro T. You can see BoA was slipping in the high 900s here for a while. So that obviously means that, even if your attack does all this damage, if our macro slips, then we're not maximizing, the benefits of that attack, obviously.
When this happens to me as Zerg, I get tilted and I just go for a Hydro Bust.
Yeah, I mean, Stryker's got speed now, so speed overlord, so he could definitely do that.
He can move out on the map, yeah.
But it looks like he's just going to drone up. And he should feel pretty safe droning up for a while, because after you hold the Protoss attack, typically there isn't another one coming quite as quickly. But you can see, like, the supply difference is pretty large for this stage in the game.
With a DT opener, there's usually like a Zealot Templar follow-up, right? Before 10 minutes? It's like 9.
Yeah, a lot of times there can be like a speed lot High Templar follow-up at 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary to deal with. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're struggling to get out the drones. The good news for Stryker is he does have full vision. He sees exactly what is happening here.
Yeah. Second Forge.
Yeah, second Forge. You're going to be getting a 2-1 build here with armor, which just, makes Protoss so much tankier.
He's going to be looking to bust Stryker.
I think he might be able to bust right through Stryker, and, everyone loves busting, so it's going to feel pretty great for BoA to just, bust right into his opponent game 1.
Yeah, the core of this matchup is busting.
Yeah, I mean, all players live the bust. Let's be real here.
Yeah. So this initial attack might not necessarily be the full bust. It's just like I don't know what you'd say. It's like a feeling out, move out. Right?
Yeah, we call this edging, when you're just about to bust and then you don't.
Yeah, the real bust is when the Dragoons come.
Yeah, but I think this might actually just bust through anyways, because this is...
actually, it might, yeah.
Yeah, this is just a really strong timing attack by BoA. And Stryker was already struggling so hard with the amount of damage that he did. He is doing a good job of picking off a lot of the High Templar. And here come the Mutalisk, actually.
Yeah.
So the Mutalisk should shut this down. The question is just, like, how much damage is actually going to get done before the Mutalisk can shut everything down.
Yeah, the Mutalisk will shut it down in, like, 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 Mutalisk against 25 Zealots at this point. So even if Mutalisk do shut it down, it's like, we're going to lose so many drones and so much production in the process that it's still going to be a good game here. But, I mean, at least at this point, Stryker will be able to stay in the game, so maybe he can make something happen, That's, like, the one positive that he can look at.
This just goes to show that small mistakes early on, like not being responsible, can lead to bad outcomes later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not having an Overlord there, and then it just kept snowballing. He lost the second Overlord once it spawned, the DPs, the D2's got a couple of free shots off on the army that was there, and yeah.
Yeah, I was referring to Stryker's drug use.
Yeah, that's also very bad for you. Stay off drugs, kids.
Yeah, okay, this is done.
Yeah, just powering through, macroing like a beast. So. We had that little slip in the early game after the first attack, but since then it's been very clean. And just, yeah. It looked like BoA was in control for pretty much the whole game there. Looked pretty comfortable. We'll have to see if Stryker has anything else, planned, or if it's going to be just, BoA outclassing him, because that game looked pretty one-sided to me.
Yeah, that was really one-sided, but I don't... it's hard to know how much you can draw from that one game. I think a lot of that is Stryker should know the DT is coming, right? He's always talking about timings. He knows the gas timings, right? And the upgrade timings, so I think he just slipped.
Yeah, but he was also, how much of that is BoA making him slip by throwing him off by getting his Overlords? I mean, he did snipe 2 Overlords with just 2 Corsairs before,
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say. We'll have to wait and see with this next game. The map is going to be Sylphid, so great 3-player map. I think everyone who's played StarCraft before should be pretty familiar with Sylphid. Very balanced PvZ. I don't think one race has a really big advantage over the other.
Yeah, I love this map for ZVP. It feels really good. And I assume it feels good for you too, right?
Yeah, very fun PvZ map.
Yeah.
Contains can be a little brutal on the Protoss side, but that's true of every map where Zerg can get a contain off on you. So.
All right, Stryker bottom right, white Zerg. I can't see the stream. Can you see it?
No. And we have BoA as the brown Protoss at the 12 o'clock position.
So I know Terrans complain about 12 o'clock. Do Protosses complain about that position?
No, I actually like 12 o'clock quite a bit.
Yeah, I also like it too. But I guess Terrans just tend to complain a lot, you know?
Yeah, Terrans are the race of whiners, as we all know. So that's why we're watching the high IQ matchup here, PVZ.
Yeah, not only are these players smarter than than Terran players, they're also better people too.
Better mannered, less ragey.
Yeah. So that probe that made the pylon just went back. Is this a gate FE? Can you tell that early?
Should be 10 gate, yeah. If the probe goes back, it should be 10 gate. But because it's a 3-player map, sometimes some players like to do a like a late forge scout, and that's exactly what it's going to be. Oh, what?
Wait, did he cancel?
He canceled and made a gateway. Okay, so BoA, I think he wanted to do a gate and then accidentally built a forge, just falling into old habits. Both builds are possible. You can do a forge scout on a 3-player map. It's just a little bit risky because your scout's obviously going to get there late, so you might have to cannon blindly.
I haven't seen that move before. Is that just indecision?
I think BoA wanted to do a gate expand here, and then I think he probably does forge expand normally, and then so it just accidentally built the forge instead of a gateway.
I mean, I don't think it'll hurt his zealot timing or anything. I think when you do get iffy, you float a little bit, right?
It might hurt it a little bit, but but just by a couple of seconds, so it's not going to be like a critical issue. But I mean, even a couple of seconds obviously can hurt when it's the whole build centered around getting that zealot out. I don't think it's game losing, but obviously if BoA could take back ever building the forge, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Stryker going for the middle only. I like this against gate FE. It's easier to defend.
BoA did do a good job of denying him from taking the natural that whole time, though, which is pretty nice. This is where it gets a little dicey for Protoss because, like, this micro is really, really tough.
Ooh, like these hidden links.
Yeah, and these Zerglings can do, they can really, really get into the main and just do work on Protoss's economy if BoA isn't careful here. So we're going to have to see if he can micro this.
He's being super careful.
Anything done. Yeah, he's already blocking the egg with the probe and the zealot, which is always really smart. But then you have to be careful about losing the pylon too, or getting the one zealot that's out here surrounded like this. The Stryker already getting some damage down on it. Free. Now we start getting down to the gateway, and we still don't even have a forge on the way, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's a little greedy, but I think Stryker got a relatively light gas. So I think BoA should be safe if he doesn't mess up his micro too badly.
Loses his probe, and he did take a lot of damage on both his zealots there, but it doesn't look like Stryker's going to be pumping Zerglings here, so it doesn't look like he wants to be all in. But he may have speed on the way. I'm not sure if he just started mining his gas. Or
These are his first 50 gas.
Okay. So we'll have a few Zerglings out here, and look at how greedy BoA's being just finally putting down his cannon. So he waited a long time to do that.
He got a gas before. Yeah. That's the dream.
This is really, really good economically for BoA, as long as he doesn't get punished for this, and it doesn't look like Stryker has really any way to punish him right now. He didn't continue making Zerglings or anything like that. Once again, it's not like it's that bad for Stryker too, because he can just really, start pumping drones for a while here. He doesn't have to worry about zealots for some time.
Yeah, he pulled off of a gas. It's just link speed, so I think he'll probably go up to 5 or 6 hatcheries before switching to hydras. It's going to be a lot of drones. He's going to squeeze out as many drones as he can right now.
He's making lings back at home. Maybe he's okay, there's a drone pumping, but for a second I thought he was going to be pumping out a lot of lings and trying to do some kind of crazy it was like, there's no way that would work, but
yeah, I guess you want to maintain about 10, and as Protoss comes out, you go up to the 4 lings per zealot.
Okay, well, he does have some time. His link speed is finished now, and Zerglings with speed really can punish zealots without speed if they're not careful. You can do a lot of backstabs and stuff like that that can really be pretty devastating. So We'll have to see if BoA moves that way down speed here in his Zealots. Typically, most Protosses that go gate fast expand always have some kind of Zealot timing pre-speed because your speed is so late, and you give Zerg a lot of time if you don't push out before it.
Yeah, it's usually like 6 to 8 Zealots. Is that just a personal preference?
Yeah, it's just a preference. Or when you basically want to push out when you feel like Zerg has overdrone to the point where they can't make enough Zerglings to, overwhelm your Zealots before they get to their base.
Yeah.
You're not even really expecting to kill Zerg when you move out with the Zealots there. You just want to get to a mineral line and disrupt mining a little bit. So, yeah, second cannon's kind of interesting. I'm surprised he's playing so defensively, but he doesn't have much scouting, so he's got to be worried about getting busted by Hydrolytes.
Yeah. Is that related to the fact that he went Stargate or no?
The second cannon?
Yeah, a lot of Protosses just tend to like YOLO it, right? Just mass sell it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play safe and smart, though, you can always play the YOLO strats and just hope you get lucky. But if you want to play good StarCraft, you should always be playing, intelligently. So that second cannon is literally just, so you don't insta lose if he is going for Hydra. The second cannon should, in theory, buy you enough time to use your Zealots to micro to get more cannons down to hopefully, hold off.
Yeah. He sent his first Corsair to chase that Overlord instead of scouting.
This is definitely something that BoA has done both games, so it's something he could be punished for if he's not careful,
He's a greedy Protoss.
Yeah, very greedy boy, but
he's a greedy boy.
Sometimes you gotta be a greedy boy. I think being greedy, especially in a show match, in a big series, because most players that are in series are a little bit nervous and not playing their real game, they're trying to play like a special kind of game.
Yeah. They're trying
play
to
a little different play a little different
attractive viewers.
Exactly. Where if you can just play greedy and play smart and play your game to its fullest, then you should win most show matches, I feel like. As long as you're not,
yeah,
getting crushed in fucking rating, 100 rating down or something.
Okay, this is a lot of Zealots. This is he waited longer than I usually see.
And he waited for speed, so this is one of those rare occasions where he didn't bother pushing out with the slow speed lots, and pretty smart because you can see the backstab here with all these lings, so you have to be so careful. Another reason why those two cannons are nice is because it does deny that a lot better, and this is so many Zealots, man. I'm worried.
There's so many. I think he's gonna get rolled. I'm just gonna.
He's got so few Hydras. Yeah, I think this is just completely over here. There's no way he holds this. But this is so many Zealots coming in here. Zealots already getting a really good surround on the Hydralisk here, so they're already getting all the Hydralisk there. There's nothing protecting them now. Sunken is going to finish, but I don't think one Sunken is going to be enough, especially when the Zealots are right on top of it.
Yeah.
Stryker sending over Hydras from his natural, but so much damage already being done here, and you can see more Zealots just streaming across the map.
Overlord's going down.
Natural, yeah, getting all the Overlords in the natural, and this is just going to be over. Look at the supply, 70 to 90 versus 30 already. And that's a quick 2 up for Stryker. I mean, for BoA, dude.
Dude, that was what went wrong? I don't think Stryker took that much damage from the first Zealot.
I mean, I think we just saw BoA was able to get away with everything that he wanted. He got away with the super fast Nexus, off of only 1 or 2 Zealots. He got away with not making a cannon for the longest time. Stryker still made a lot of lings, His drone count was still pretty poor there for a long time. And I think just the economic advantage in having so many Zealots so fast with speed, with +1,
I think Stryker, maybe he played too properly, You gotta be a little freaky to get an edge,
His drone count seemed really low all game. I'm not exactly sure why his drone count was so low, but...
Do you think it's like an IQ issue or like a bad personality issue?
It could be, man. You never know. Dude, I'm actually really concerned for Stryker now because both those games were stomps.
Yeah, those are really bad.
And you have to just also think about how much that destroys you mentally when you get stomped hard 2 games in a row. All of a sudden it goes from oh, I still have a shot to oh, this feels unwinnable,
Generally when you play someone else, sometimes when you play someone else, you want to trade busts, he busts you, you bust him, and it's just a really nice interactive busting. But in this case, Stryker is just taking it.
Yeah, when you get busted twice, you know,
Yeah.
then what are you even getting out of the games anymore? You know, you're just getting busted over and over again. It starts to hurt when you get busted inside so many times, dude.
Yeah, it's rough. Usually, if you get busted twice, you're gonna get busted a third time. So we'll see if Stryker can avoid that.
So, I mean, it is Stryker's map choice. So, I mean,
Benzene, I'm not familiar with this map for ZVP.
it's good for. Well, honestly, I don't actually know what race it's really good for. I don't play Benzene very much.
It's probably good for Terran. It's probably an easy guess.
I think it's pretty good for Zerg though, versus Protoss. But any two-player map can be split, and any map that can be split can be good for Protoss too. So it's probably pretty even overall. Just like all the high ground, you can get lurkers on it and really.
For contain.
Well, not for a contain really, but just to get a lot of bases up. And then you also have only one real place that you need to defend. So both those things seem to be in favor of Zerg. You know, early game at least.
Here's an overpull again, 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and we're gonna see another Forge Fast expand here, but with this map, you can actually get away with going Nexus first. So we'll have to see if BoA wants to try and do that.
I'd like to see Stryker do like an 11 hatch. I wonder why he doesn't. Just for that extra eco, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you have to switch up your build a little bit, right? You have to be, you can't be so predictable in a best of 5. Otherwise, players can just play around exactly how they want.
I mean, at this point, going overpull might just be saying, "Please bust me," you know.
Dude, is he gonna lose his drone? Oh, so close. And BoA actually floating up to 500 minerals before dropping his Nexus, so a little bit sloppy there. But
his early game has been just a little bit sloppy, you know.
Yeah, but he's also throwing Stryker off in his early game. Like his Nexus still went down before Stryker's first natural. So, and I guess he lost his scouting probe to drones too. So yeah, definitely a little sloppy from BoA this game so far.
I think he went in a little too deep with his probe.
Yeah, I mean you always have to be careful not to go in too deep.
Yeah, you want to go in deep, but not too deep.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like busting, you know. You got to know when to bust, where to bust, and when not to go in too deep.
Yeah, that's a great point. Here's the gas.
Yeah. That was the gas going up, so we do know BoA is going to be mining some this game.
What's he even going to spend it on?
Well, typically, Protoss players like to spend their gas on units. They like to spend it on buildings a lot of times.
That sounds stupid.
Yeah. Well, what do Zerg players spend their gas on?
They spend it on units and buildings.
Holy shit, dude. That's fucking innovative.
Yeah, it's really cutting edge. It's like a 2020 thing.
I'll have to bring that over into the Protoss play, man.
Stryker's playing a little strange. He's like, he was oversaturated on his main. Usually he's very precise about this.
Pretty standard play. I think Stryker's definitely feeling it now. When you're down like 2-0 in a best of 5 or in any show match in any series, if you're down significantly, like that's, even if we're confident going into it, that's when you start to lose your confidence, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's one thing to like play ladder, get busted on ladder, but getting busted in front of all your friends, all these attractive viewers, it's like, it's really bad.
When there's a lot of people watching and you know there's a lot of people watching,
yeah,
people expect you to be the rising NA talent, you know, the NA star, the NA superstar, and you start losing, you know, there's never fun, obviously. But I mean, that's not to say that Stryker still can't win. Obviously, he still has a chance here. He's a very
yeah, he has a chance.
Anyways, we got this fire going down, and let's check the Stargate timing because we want to see if anything's going to be able to. And look at how much faster that Stargate is. I don't know what's going on with Stryker's build, but it's definitely off here. Speed is done.
Yeah, it doesn't look like BoA's cutting that much to get that gas, right? It's like pretty standard. I don't know why Stryker's appears late. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but if he's not hiding his overlords well, we could see, you know, 1 or 2 get picked off, and once it starts snowballing like that, that's when it gets really dangerous. We have a scout in the main too, I think, that just got up there, so BoA sees everything. So he got a probe into the main. He doesn't even need to go scout for what tech's going on. He can literally just send Corsairs to go hunting. He knows.
Oh, look at this Robo. Yeah, he doesn't have to drop a second cannon because he knows what's happening.
Yeah, so everything's going really well for BoA. Once again, this looks dangerous for Stryker, and the Robo definitely points to this being a Sarah Reaver build.
Yeah.
So
I really think Stryker's slipping. Like this Overlord that's getting caught right now. Every Zerg knows the Corsair's coming, right? I'd like to see it go to 12 instead, right? But instead, it was flying right between the 2 mains. Like every Corsair is going to catch that. Even the dumbest Corsair.
None of his other Overlords are hiding at all, and they're just sitting here to be picked off by Overlords. And this is when it gets, picked off by Stairs, and this is when it gets really dangerous, because this is when it can start to snowball, when you lose 1 Overlord, and then, oh shit, I can't build any Scourge, so I lose another Overlord and another Overlord. Thankfully for Stryker, BoA's backing off, and he's respecting that some Scourge could be on the way here, but yeah, who knows if any actually were.
Yeah. Your description of losing Overlords sounds like my personal life.
Yeah, man. Yours and mine both, dude.
Our lives together.
But so far, this looks pretty good for BoA once again.
Yeah.
Granted, I think, Scourge has such small vision, I'm not sure if he saw the Robo Bay for sure or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
The thing is, if this catches him off guard and a Reaver ends up in his main without it getting scouted, that's going to be...
The game's just over.
Yeah, the game's literally just over, because he's going to lose 7 drones, and Stryker's already behind.
Yeah.
So...
I think, so he didn't see a second gate, I don't think. And he'll be expecting a Zealot move out round right now, so if it doesn't come out, you know something's up.
Look at the wing spread that he has, so it definitely makes it seem like he knows what's...
Oh yeah, he knows.
And that's actually really good for Stryker, because he can just see whenever there's
5 drones,
any kind of shuttle move out. Yeah, drone count really, really low there.
He's feeling it.
Yeah, that is an insanely small drone count for Stryker. Typically, he's known for, like, droning like a madman. Having that Jaeyoon style where you just fucking go all out in the drones.
Yeah, if you get lessons from Jaeyoon, you too can go down 0-2 in a show match. Okay, so from the Zerg perspective, you wanna just fight off Sarah Reaver with just a ton of Hydras. You go Hydras and you drone pretty heavily too. Yeah.
We have a Reaver that, even though it seemed like it was scouted, it seems like he's unaware that the Reaver...
Does he not see this?
He must have not seen it, and it's going to get a huge shot off. That's like 4 drones right off the bat, dude. That, like, already this Reaver is paying for itself.
It's going to be so annoying to come up this ramp.
Yeah, I know, with 2 Zealots.
2 Zealots.
And Stryker, he is just losing so much to this. This first Reaver doesn't even really have to get that much done. Obviously, it's nice for it to kill a lot. As long as you're just throwing off the Zerg a little bit with the first Reaver, you can be in a pretty good spot here. And this is just completely shutting down this third base. This is doing so much economic damage. You might even get the fucking Evo Chamber. And then
this is already game ending.
It already feels...
The game is over.
Yeah, it feels like the game's already over. Supply block, he lost to 1 Reaver and 2 Zealots, dude.
So that Zealot was just meat. He was just there for his body, but he contributes there by killing Hydra.
Thankfully, Stryker manages to save the Evo Chamber, but all the Overlords, 60 out of 21, dude.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Game is completely over, pretty much. I mean, it's not 100% over, I guess. I guess there are things that could still happen, but for Stryker to win this game, something miraculous would have to happen at this point. BoA can basically do whatever he wants, and also managed to win. And it was so weird. He had the perfect setup to stop it.
He saw everything. Yeah, he saw it coming, and he still died to it.
You can see. I'm sure Stryker is just tilting off the planet that he missed that. If he even realizes that he missed it yet, he might still just be wondering how it got there.
I think it's important at this point it's important to have carbon monoxide detectors in your home, so you don't end up.
Make sure you don't fall asleep during your show match, man.
Yeah.
Start hallucinating.
Yeah. Check your homes for lead paint if your house was built in the 80s.
And there's he got the shuttle at least, which is nice.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a good start.
Even without the Reavers, which would be like a dicey fight for Stryker.
Yeah.
But with the Reavers, I feel like there's just no way he holds here. Look at how many Zealots are reinforcing. They're just streaming across the map, and the Hydras are actually cleaning everything up. So I guess I'm going to eat my words here. But
that was a really good split by Stryker. I think he might get it really well.
Yeah, he managed to pick off both the Reavers really nicely. But even though he holds here, once again, look at the amount of damage that's been done. It's supply block for days, 52 supply to 20, or
his fourth hasn't started. Usually it's.
He's gonna lose a bunch more Overlords now because they spawned at his natural and they all just got picked off. Look at those Corsairs. I bet each one has like +5 kills at this point, dude. They're okay. The first one only had 2, and the second one only had 4. So, they've been doing work regardless, dude. So. Even though they didn't have quite as many kills as I was anticipating, they've tripled Stryker's economy.
Look at Stryker's gas.
And
so much gas.
Yeah. He can't afford to switch to Lurkers because,
he's poor.
And stuff, yeah.
Honestly, being poor is so disgusting.
Yeah, it's a bad quality. There are, any poor people watching, you should really work on that.
Yeah, just find another show match to watch. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
And this is gonna be it's a DT.
Oh, it's a DT.
This is so fucking juicy. So many drones are gonna go down. Is it gonna get the whole line? 3, 4,
it's gonna get the whole thing.
5,
and he's
6, 7, and here comes the Reaver. Oh my god! Big shot. Are we gonna get a fat one? No, we didn't get a fat shot.
Dude, I love fat shots.
Dude, I love fat shots, but oh my god, are we gonna get a fat one here? Dude, we are gonna get the fattest shot of all time! Oh, shoot it! Oh my god! Ooh, baby, that was a fat shot.
Man.
Might get another one here. And man, these scarabs are teasing us, and they're teasing.
I fucking love scarabs.
I know. This DT is still doing work. This game is, Stryker's just, falling apart here. There's losing drones. You never clean this up. 16 kills. 17, dude. This is, Unfortunately, Stryker has just been absolutely dominated this show match.
Yeah, this is rough. It's a best of 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see basically no way that he can still win this game, so BoA should be taking it 3-0 here in convincing fashion.
If it makes you feel better, I know Stryker has other hobbies that he, spends his personal time in. Like he's an avid jump roper.
It doesn't really make me feel better. But
he likes to make
Stryker feel better when he can focus on him after this game.
Well, I'm having a terrible time, but it'll help Stryker cope.
And BoA just playing it safe, playing it smart,
BoA played really well.
Classic Artosis line, man. Went ahead, get more ahead, And he's doing that perfectly.
Artosis, noted expert for show matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He almost managed to take a show match off someone that's been playing for a week, so that was impressive.
That's really impressive, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we all love Artosis. And I mean, there's really not much to say about this game. It's going to come down to another timing attack, but it just seems so hopeless for Stryker. He's almost 100 supply down. He's just absolutely economically, crushed. So I just don't see any way he can hold it, so there's really not much more to say about this game.
Yeah.
I mean, his upgrades are behind. And you're right, BoA's just played really, really well so far this entire series. I mean, some of his openings were a little sloppy. I think they could probably be, spruced up a little bit and improved. But
Yeah.
his macro has just been, so dominating. His timing attacks were all really strong. I mean, at first,
his harass is really good.
Yeah, first double DT timing attack followed up by that big Zealot timing right after was so strong and did so much work on Stryker. And he just never let Stryker get comfortable at all during the series. He's just been in control the whole time. And now here comes the big push. He can try to do delay tactics like that, killing the observers, and if he can manage to type enough observers and delay it long enough, that's one way he could potentially, slow down the game to get back into it. But it's such a tall order.
It had to delay by like 10 minutes.
His other big problem is he's mining out of some of his bases too. You can see the mineral only is already getting low.
Yeah, he's gonna be poorer. He's already poor.
Yeah, he's already really poor, and he's gonna be even more poor. Big attack coming in here. A couple of good storms by BoA, but he is still missing an observer. It's finally coming out now. BoA just needs to be a little bit careful here. He just doesn't want to keep, giving Stryker more and more time. Make sure he doesn't lose the observer. It's gonna get picked off again, which will. No, Stryker actually doesn't pick it off. I thought he was gonna grab it there.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, focusing on Matt crewing and staying alive as much as he can too. And this is where it gets really tough for Stryker, because it's like this army, even if he doesn't storm anymore, is like stronger than Stryker's army. So how do you survive here? You want to try to get lurkers out, but you probably don't have enough time to. If you don't get lurkers out, he's just going to keep shutting down your bases, and you're just going to be starved. So
honestly, if I was in a show match, I would just pull the plug here and then say it was like my power going up.
And see if the guy's good mannered, he'll give you a rematch. Like
yeah. And then you 5-pull.
Yeah, and then you 5.
You 5-pull.
And if you win that game, you 5-pull the next game too.
Dude, that's so sick. The matchup is solved.
Yeah.
Is this a drop? Is that a desperation drop?
Doom drop here, so we're going for the base race. But I mean, the thing is, like, Stryker doesn't even have a lot, to base race with.
Yeah.
This is like 5 overlords, 6 overlords, and I don't even think all of them are filled all the way. And in the meantime, he's going to lose everything. And this is going to get cleaned up by 2 Reavers when they come back.
Yeah, this is not going to work.
But
I think it's been fun though.
Well, you have to try something, so
kudos
to those Strikers for doing this. But yeah, there's no way it works. He's just going to get cleaned up by the gateway reinforcements. And so, yeah, we have BoA taking it 3-0. Really, really dominating.
Yeah. Really decisive.
Now, I think we have some winner interviews to do, I'm pretty sure. So we'll probably get a little conversation with BoA. Do you know where BoA's from? Is he American?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I've never interacted with him.
I mean, this is Rogue's Gallery, so we're, a group of high IQ American content creators.
Yeah.
So I assume he's an American, but I actually don't know. Or, I mean, not an American, but a North American. Keen, can you fill us in? Can you say something in the general chat? He is American, okay. So that is kind of alarming, because now I realize there's another American Protoss out there that I have to worry about being better than me. So I'm going to feel, personally.
I mean, there's not that many though, right?
Well, you got BoA.
I was snooping you recently, and I saw that you hit 2150 on ladder.
Yeah, 2150. Sometimes
it's like your average rating, but maybe your low end.
My play, I'm sure you came there to watch my high level commentary and my great plays and my high quality content stream. And 2150 is no big deal to me.
Actually,
this is an interview about me though. Let's get back to the games. And,
where's BoA? Is he here? Honestly, we should just interview the loser. I think that'd be more interesting. Just get that saltiness.
I'm sure Stryker is very humble on defeat.
You think he's genuinely humble in defeat?
I don't think anyone's, that genuinely humble in defeat. I mean, everyone that is competitive is probably a little pissed off that they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be playing a competitive game if you didn't have, competitive nature, right?
Well, some people just play forever and never improve. It's a strange phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, and some people obviously just play for fun, but I don't think Stryker is one of those people that's playing for fun. He's obviously playing competitively and trying to actively improve. So
yeah,
he's probably not very happy about the loss that he experienced, I'm sure. I mean, loser interviews are always interesting. So something maybe that we can think about for the future because, I mean, obviously it's up to the players too. Some players don't like to talk right after they lost, but it's always interesting. In boxing, professional boxing, they always have loser interviews.
What do the losers say? They just say, my opponent fought very well.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can get some nice beef out of it too and stuff like that. And so, yeah, you just get to hear their perspective,
BoA's a little shy. Maybe he's doing his hair. Maybe he's flexing in front of the mirror before he talks to us.
Well, probably celebrating too.
It's a little intimidating talking to attractive guys.
Yeah? Well,
yeah.
I've got bad news for you. You've been talking to one all night.
Oh.
Yeah. Of course, I'm referring to Keen.
Oh.
Yo.
Hey, BoA. Congrats.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
BoA, on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy was that?
Oh, even though the score was 3-0, I don't think it was that easy.
Oh, it was very difficult.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult, yeah.
It seemed like you...
Sorry?
I was just going to say, it seemed like you were definitely in control of the whole series, so regardless of how tough it was, it seemed like you didn't have many problems controlling the pace of the series.
Yeah, that was my whole strategy. I was trying to control the game. Yeah, so I guess it worked out pretty well. So now I kind of knew like what he was going to do because I've watched some of his replays, so I think that also helped me a lot.
Oh, you studied? What did you notice?
Well, he doesn't usually go for middle disc, and he likes doing hydro disc, and yeah, there's some like I mean he's a good player, and then he has a very solid background, but then yeah, he doesn't usually go for all in that much. So yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like you were confident all 3 games going for his overlord, his scouting overlord each time. It didn't seem like you felt like you needed to scout with your Corsair right away. Were you just expecting him not to all in? Obviously, you were really good with scouting with your probe too, so that gave you a lot of info as well.
Yeah, so when I initially scouted with my probes and also with my Zealot, so I already knew that he wasn't gonna do the all-ins, and also, yeah, and also he already had like a lot of Zerlings, so. Yeah, I wasn't expecting like a lot of Hydras anyway, so.
Game 1, you went for the DT build. Were all these builds something that you had planned out for this series specifically, or are these just builds that you practice all the time?
Looks like a best build. Right?
Yeah, I like doing DTs a lot, so it's just one of my signatures, I guess, to play against Zerg.
Yeah, you wrecked them with the build. I mean, your DTs got in and were just devastating. So.
Dude, game 2, you made a forge before you made a gateway. Did you change your mind like right there? Or?
No, that was my mistake. For some reason, I don't know why I built a forge before. I was gonna go for gateway, but I think I was a little bit nervous. So yeah, that was my mistake on my part.
Were you nervous these games?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Especially because I know he's a good player. So yeah.
Yeah.
Game 2, when you finally moved out with your Zealots, you just ran him over. Did you feel like you were that far ahead? Did you think you had gotten that big of an advantage, or did you think he was going to be able to hold that attack a little bit more convincingly?
With my Corsair, when I saw a lot of Zerglings, I kind of figured that I was already in advantage. So yeah, even if all my Zealots would die, like I thought I would still like lead the game. So
yeah, you played it really safe. You got like a second cannon too.
Yeah.
And then...
Game 3, the Sarah Reaver game, were you worried at all when he had all the lings spread out? Your shuttle flew right over the lings, but then it still did work once it got to his 3rd base.
Yeah, so I think I got a little bit lucky on that one, yeah.
Do you usually go Sarah Reaver on that map? Is that a good Sarah Reaver map?
I'm sorry?
Do you usually go that build on that map?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Why do you like it? Just long rush distance and the main is far from the third and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Uh-huh.
Nice. Well, congratulations on your win.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, do you have anything you want to say to your fans or any shout outs you want to make, Bo?
Oh, I don't know if I have any fans, but
I'm sure you do after that series.
This is how you start. Yeah.
well, I think well, I also practice with some of the good Zerg players, so I think that also helped me a lot. So
Wait, but you didn't practice with me though.
who are you? Sorry, I don't know who I'm speaking to, so
I'm very famous.
He was just making a joke.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. So is there anyone you'd like to face next, or I don't know if we take requests, but
Oh, do I get to play next then? Like the winner?
yeah, winner. So far, I think it's winner stays. I'm not sure if it's not, then too bad. But I think it is.
Okay. Well, I don't mind playing Zerg, but then I prefer playing against Terran. So if I could face any Terran players, I think that would be good.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
We will definitely be on the lookout for Terran players, man.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
again, man.
congrats.
Yeah, thanks for hosting. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so that was our show match between BoA and Stryker there. Of course, BoA taking it 3-0. I hope you guys all had a great time watching. I don't know if there's anything left here. BoA, do you?
Yeah, we're done. What? Oh yeah, do you have a stream bot? He left.
Okay. Well,